WISE is kind of what we call a cradle to grave, because there are issues, of course, from birth to death. Well, of course, we can't do all of that. So our primary focus is on transition from high school to college, university, the first 2 years, because data shows that those are where the greatest attrition occurs for both women and women of color. While I understand that I also have to keep working on the system itself, I'm very aware that I need to provide whatever I can to support the women going through now a system that is discriminatory. And we may not see as much of the overt, but it doesn't matter, it's still discriminatory against young women in the sciences. So providing that support is key. One of the things that's been interesting to me is you learn the theory, but in practice you got to be a little careful. At least I've found that in my job. So one of the things I acknowledge is I can't tell some of these young women, just be more vocal. Go and complain to the dean, do this and this and this. While I understand why we want to do that, they will not get through. So I feel like my job is to be the mouthpiece and the hammer by making sure you take classes outside of engineering and science, especially for young women, well, and young men as well, but to learn some of the reasons why things happen the way they do, to understand structures. If you're having trouble in one class, maybe it's not just about you and that professor. There are much larger issues that you get caught up in. That's why I think it's really important. The other really important thing, and you've found this out as well, is that because you're a woman in science, sometimes you don't want to look and think there are discriminatory practices anymore, and you don't want to feel like you have to be the champion for everybody in the world. But I think sometimes taking women's studies courses, again, where you're looking kind of, it's not about me particularly, it's about a lot of externals, makes a difference. Understanding the big picture, I think, is very important, and that's, again, part of my job.